She called the cops saying, "He's abusing my pet." After I took my cat back, I said, "Check the microchip." When police confirmed it was registered to me and she'd stolen it, the abuse charges redirected. I, 31 male, am sitting here with my cat Mochi purring on my lap, still kinda shaking from what just went down. Cops left my place about an hour ago. My ex Brooke, 29, really thought she could steal my cat and then have me arrested for taking him back. The entitlement is off the charts. Let me back up. Brooke and I dated for about 2 years, broke up 4 months ago. It was messy but not dramatic. We just wanted different things. She wanted marriage and kids ASAP. I wasn't ready. We split up somewhat amicably, or so I thought. When we were together, I got Mochi from a rescue. He was this scared little orange tabby, maybe 6 months old. I paid the adoption fees, paid for all his vet visits, his microchip, registration, everything. Have all the paperwork with my name on it. Brooke liked him well enough but was never a huge cat person. Always complained about the litter box smell and the hair on her clothes. When we broke up, I was between apartments for like 3 weeks. Crash at my buddy's place, but he's allergic to cats. Brooke offered to watch Mochi, just until you get settled. Seemed reasonable. We'd ended things okay-ish, and it was just temporary. Found a new place within 2 weeks. Nice little 1-bedroom that allows pets. Texted Brooke that I could pick up Mochi that weekend. Her response? "Actually, I've grown really attached to him. I think he should stay with me." What? "That's my cat, Brooke. I appreciate you watching him, but I'm taking him home. He's happier here. I have a bigger place. It would be cruel to move him again." It's not a discussion. I'll be there Saturday at 2 p.m. I won't be home Saturday. This went on for weeks. Every time I tried to arrange picking him up, she had an excuse. Not home. Mochi was sick. No proof. She was out of town. Her new boyfriend was allergic, and they needed time to figure it out. Always something. I finally had enough last week. Showed up at her place unannounced on Tuesday evening. Could hear Mochi meowing through the door. He has this very distinctive squeaky meow. Knocked for 5 minutes. No answer, but I could hear movement inside. Posted up in my car where I could see her front door. Waited. Sure enough, an hour later she comes out with trash. I confronted her right there in the parking lot. "Brooke, I need my cat back. This has gone on long enough." "Your cat? I've been taking care of him for months. I buy his food, his litter, everything. He's mine now. You've been watching him for a few weeks. I paid for everything for 2 years. He's microchipped and registered to me." Possession is 9/10 of the law. That's not how pet ownership works. But okay. She went back inside and locked the door. I could hear Mochi meowing again, and it broke my heart. My little dude probably wondered where I'd been, so I started planning. First, I documented everything, every text where I asked for him back, every excuse she made, the original adoption papers, vet records, microchip registration, everything. Then I got creative. Brooke works standard 9 to 5 at a marketing firm. Her apartment complex has those electronic locks that auto-lock but take a second to fully engage. And I remembered something. She keeps a spare key in one of those fake rocks by her potted plant. We'd used it once when she locked herself out. Is it technically trespassing? Maybe. Is it stealing when you take back your own property? Don't think so. Yesterday, Wednesday, I took a half-day off work. Drove to her complex at 1 p.m. The fake rock was still there. Let myself in. Mochi was right there in the living room. The moment he saw me, he started doing that chirpy meow he does when he's excited. Ran right over, rubbing against my legs. Yeah, he seemed real happy without me, Brooke. I didn't touch anything else. Just scooped up my cat, grabbed his favorite toy, a little fish on a string that I'd bought him, and left. Locked the door behind me. Put the key back in the fake rock. Mochi was so happy in the car. Kept standing on my lap while I was trying to drive. Not safe, I know, but he was just so excited. Got him home, and he immediately went to his old favorite spot on my window perch. It's like he never left. I figured Brooke would blow up my phone when she got home. I was ready for angry texts, maybe some dramatic voicemails. I was not ready for the cops to show up at my door at 7 p.m. "Sir, we're responding to a report of animal abuse and theft." My heart dropped. Then I remembered, I have receipts. Literal and figurative receipts. "Officers, please come in. Let me show you something." Mochi, bless him, chose that moment to jump onto my shoulder and start purring. Real abused animals definitely seek out their abusers for cuddles, right? I showed them everything: adoption papers, vet records showing 2 years of visits, all paid by my credit card, the microchip registration in my name, the text messages showing I'd asked for him back repeatedly and she'd refused. Let me guess, I said. She claimed the cat was hers? One officer nodded. She said you broke into her home and stole her pet. Said you've been harassing her for weeks trying to take her cat. Check the microchip. I have the number right here. Any vet can scan him. They called animal control to bring a scanner. While we waited, I showed them more texts, including one from 2 months ago, where Brooke explicitly says, "Thanks for letting me watch your cat while you find a place." Animal control showed up. Scanned Mochi. The chip number matched my paperwork exactly. The officers exchanged looks. "Sir, we need to revisit the complainant." They left. Came back an hour later. "So here's the situation. Miss Brooke's last name is now claiming there was a misunderstanding. She's admitted the cat belongs to you, but says she thought you'd abandoned him. I have texts from last week asking for him back. We know, we've explained to her that filing a false police report is a crime. She's been given a warning. If you want to pursue charges for harassment or theft, you can file a report. I'm honestly thinking about it, but for now I'm just happy to have my boy back." The audacity, though. She really called the cops and tried to have me arrested for stealing my own cat. Then claimed I was abusing him. Mochi hasn't left my side since I brought him home. He's currently sprawled across my keyboard, purring so loud I can barely think. But this morning she texted me from a new number. I'd blocked her main one. "You traumatized him by moving him. I'm calling animal welfare to do a wellness check. I have photos of how skinny he looks." Skinny? Mochi is 14 pounds of pure orange chunk. The vet says he could lose a pound or 2. I think I need to file that police report after all. Update 1. 3 days later. Well, Brooke has completely lost her mind. Thanks for all the advice on my first post. I did end up filing a police report for harassment and theft. Here's what's happened since. First, animal welfare actually did show up for that wellness check she threatened. The officer took one look at Mochi, who was midway through demolishing a bowl of food, and laughed. "This is the starving cat?" She checked him over anyway. Protocol. Clean bill of health. Mochi purred through the whole exam and tried to eat the officer's pen. She gave me a card for a low-cost clinic for his upcoming shots and left. Took maybe 10 minutes. But here's where Brooke really showed her true colors. Remember that new boyfriend she mentioned? Turns out she'd been telling him that Mochi was her cat that her abusive ex, me, had stolen. This dude, Garrett, reached out to me on Instagram. Not to threaten me, to apologize. His message: "Hey man, I think I've been lied to. Brooke said you stole her cat, but the cops told a different story. Can we talk?" We met for coffee. This poor guy had no idea what he'd gotten into. Brooke had told him, I was her ex who couldn't let go. I'd been stalking her for months. I broke into her place and stole her emotional support animal. She'd had Mochi for 3 years. We only dated for 2. I was violent and she had a restraining order against me. Completely false. Garrett's a decent guy. Software developer. Seems normal. He showed me their text conversations. She'd sent him photos of her cat. Photos that were clearly taken in my old apartment. You can see my distinctive blue couch in the background. "Bro," he said, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea." She seemed so normal at first. "When did she tell you about the cat?" Like 2 weeks into dating. Said she was devastated because her ex stole her pet. I felt so bad for her. 2 weeks ago? That's when she was still refusing to give him back to me. His face went pale. She was setting up the narrative before you even took him back. Yup, she planned this. Garrett broke up with her that night. Sent me screenshots of the breakup text the next day, with his permission to share the relevant parts. "Garrett, I know you lied about the cat, and everything else." "Brooke, what are you talking about? That psycho ex of mine got to you, didn't he? He showed me the adoption papers, and the microchip registration, and your texts admitting it was his cat. Those are forged. He's obsessed with me. He probably made fake documents." The vet confirmed the microchip, Brooke. The cops confirmed everything. You filed a false report. I can't believe you're taking his side. You don't even know him. I don't need to. You lied about having a restraining order. You lied about owning that cat. What else are you lying about? Brooke, I'm the victim here. He traumatized me. That cat was the only thing helping my anxiety. Then get your own cat, we're done. She apparently showed up at his apartment at 2 a.m. banging on the door. He didn't answer and she eventually left, but not before leaving a lovely note that said, "You'll regret this when he shows his true colors." My dude, the only colors I'm showing are the orange ones from all the cat hair on my clothes. But then, Thursday morning, I'm at work when I get a call from my apartment complex office. "Mr. My name? We've received a complaint about unauthorized pets in your unit." My heart sank. I have a cat. He's on my lease. I paid the pet deposit. Yes, we see that, but the complaint says you have multiple cats and they're disturbing other residents. I have one cat. One. Orange tabby named Mochi. The complaint mentioned loud noises at night, strong odors, and at least 4 cats. 4 cats? I can barely handle one. They sent someone to inspect. Found exactly what I said. One well-fed orange cat, clean litter box, no smells, no damage. The inspector actually said my place was cleaner than most. The office manager called back, "We're noting this as a false complaint. If you know who might have made it." Oh, I knew. But Brooke wasn't done. Friday, she tried a new approach. She texted Garrett, who immediately forwarded it to me. "I'm pregnant. It's yours. The stress from losing my cat and you abandoning me is putting the baby at risk." Garrett's response was perfect. "We used protection every time and you told me you were on birth control. Also, we've only been dating for 3 weeks. Please stop contacting me." Her response? "Fine. It's actually my ex's baby. Tell him he needs to do the right thing." The woman is claiming to be pregnant with my baby. We broke up 4 months ago and she has an IUD. She made a huge deal about getting it when we were together because she definitely didn't want kids until she was at least 32. Garrett blocked her after that. Smart man. Saturday morning yesterday, I woke up to find a note on my car. "I know you're home. We need to talk about our baby." Our what now? I immediately texted my buddy who's a lawyer. If my ex is claiming to be pregnant 4 months after we broke up, what do I do? His response: "Document everything. Don't respond. If she pursues this, demand a paternity test. Save that note." I installed a Ring camera that afternoon. Best $100 I've ever spent. Because at 11 p.m. last night, guess who showed up? Brooke. And she brought her sister Cassidy. The Ring footage is gold. They stood outside my door for 20 minutes. Here are the highlights. "Brooke, I know you're in there. We need to discuss our child." "Brooke, are you sure about this?" "Shut up. He owes me. He took everything from me. He took his cat back. It was my cat. I loved that cat." Me, watching from inside. Mochi sleeping peacefully on my lap, completely unbothered. Brooke, getting louder. "I'll tell everyone you abandoned your pregnant ex, your family, your work. You're not actually pregnant, though. He doesn't know that." She admitted it. On camera. Her own sister just confirmed she's lying about being pregnant. They eventually left when my neighbor came out and threatened to call the cops. This morning I woke up to 14 Instagram DMs from accounts I don't recognize, all some variation of, "How could you abandon your pregnant ex, you monster?" She really made fake accounts to harass me about a fake pregnancy. I'm taking all of this to the police station on Monday. The false welfare check, the false complaint to my apartment, the harassment, the pregnancy lie, the video of her admitting to lying. This has gone from entitled ex won't give my cat back to unhinged ex inventing pregnancies for attention. And Mochi? He's living his best life, completely oblivious to the drama, currently attacking a cardboard box like it owes him money. We'll update after I talk to the cops again. Something tells me this isn't over. Final update. Alright, Reddit, last update because Brooke is officially out of my life and facing some serious consequences. So I went to the police with everything. The Ring footage of her admitting the pregnancy was fake, the false complaints, the harassment. All of it. The officer who took my report actually said, "This is one of the most clear-cut harassment cases I've seen." They issued a warrant for her arrest on filing a false police report, the original stolen cat claim, harassment, criminal mischief. She turned herself in 2 days later with a lawyer. got released on bail with a no-contact order. Guess she finally realized this was serious. But before the arrest, she made one more spectacular mistake. Remember how I mentioned she works at a marketing firm? Well, she decided to email my company's HR department from her work email. During work hours, the email was unhinged, claimed I was a dangerous individual who stole from her, abandoned her while pregnant, still running with that lie, had a history of violence against women, was stalking her at her workplace. I haven't been within a mile of her office. She demanded they fire me for the safety of your female employees. My HR director, Rita, called me in looking deeply confused. Drew, we received a very concerning email about you, but it doesn't match anything we know about you. Also, it's from a competitor's company email. I explained the situation, showed her the police reports, the ring footage, the text messages. Rita's expression went from concerned to angry to utterly flabbergasted. She's claiming you abandoned her while pregnant, but also admits on camera that she's not pregnant? Yep. And she sent this from her work email? With her company signature? Sure did. Rita leaned back. Drew, I need to make some calls. Can you send me all that documentation? Here's where it gets beautiful. Turns out Rita knows someone at Brooks' company. They're in the same professional network. Rita called her contact and gave them a heads up about the email, saying something like, I think one of your employees might be having a personal crisis and using company resources inappropriately. Brooks' company has very strict policies about using work email for personal matters, especially for harassment, especially for making false allegations, especially when it could open them up to liability. They investigated, found not just the email to my company, but dozens of emails she'd sent from her work account, to my apartment complex, to animal welfare, to 3 of my coworkers she'd found on LinkedIn, to my mother, she found her on Facebook somehow, all sent during work hours, all completely unhinged, all potentially opening her company to lawsuits. She was fired immediately, for cause, no severance, no unemployment benefits. But wait, there's more. Remember Garrett, the ex-boyfriend? He's been keeping me updated. Apparently Brooke went nuclear after losing her job, created a GoFundMe claiming she was a victim of workplace discrimination after reporting an abuser. She raised $0, $0, even included a sob story about losing her cat and being pregnant. Comments were brutal. Isn't this the girl from TikTok who lied about owning a cat? Ma'am, your ex posted the receipts. The cat was never yours. Pregnancy after 4 months broken up? Math ain't mathing. Yeah, somehow the ring footage made it to TikTok. Not from me. I think Cassidy, her sister, posted it. The video has 2.8 million views. Comments are savage. Brooke's been memed. There's a whole trend of people saying, it was my cat about random things. The criminal case moved forward. Her lawyer negotiated a plea deal, guilty plea to misdemeanor filing a false report, 12 months probation, 100 hours community service, $500 fine plus court costs, mental health evaluation and treatment, no contact order made permanent. She took the deal to avoid jail time. But the best part? The absolute best part? Last week I get a text from Cassidy, Brooke's sister. Hey, I know this is weird, but I wanted to apologize for my sister. And also, she got a cat. She went to the same shelter you got Mochi from and adopted a cat that looks just like him. She's been calling it Mochi. I'm genuinely concerned. She sent me a photo. It's an orange tabby that looks similar to my boy, but clearly not the same cat. Different face shape, different markings. But Brooke's Instagram, which Cassidy still follows, is full of posts about reuniting with her cat Mochi and healing from trauma. And sometimes the universe gives you a second chance. This woman really went and got a replacement cat and is pretending it's the same one. The shelter confirmed, Cassidy checked, that Brooke told them a sob story about losing her cat in a bad breakup and needing an emotional support animal. They had no idea about the real story. So where are we now? Brooke is on probation, unemployed, and internet famous for all the wrong reasons. She's in court-ordered therapy. Thank God. She has a restraining order against her. She's living with her parents and working part-time at a craft store. She has a cat that she pretends is my cat. And me? Still have my job with a very understanding HR department. Have my actual cat Mochi, who remains blissfully unaware of his internet fame. Invested in a good security system, started dating someone new, met at a cat cafe actually. Considering writing a movie script because you can't make this up. The new girlfriend thinks the whole story is hilarious. She met Mochi last week and said, "So this is the cat that launched 1,000 memes?" He responded by stealing her hair tie. Cassidy still texts me updates occasionally. Apparently, Brooke tells people I cloned her cat, and that's why I have one that looks like hers. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. But honestly, I'm done. She's got her knockoff Mochi, her probation officer, and her TikTok infamy. I've got my actual cat, my sanity, and a story that'll last a lifetime. To everyone who said, when people show you who they are, believe them. You were right. When someone claims your cat is theirs after watching it for 3 weeks, that's just the beginning of the crazy. Mochi's doing great, by the way. Completely spoiled. Has no idea he's the star of a viral video. Just knocked my water glass off the table while I was typing this. Living his best life. Thanks for following this wild ride, Reddit. Hug your pets, and maybe microchip them twice. Edit, since everyone's asking, yes, the new girlfriend has met the real Mochi. No, we're not naming our future cats Mochi Jr. And yes, I still have all the documentation backed up in 3 places because I'm paranoid now. Edit 2. Cassidy just texted me. Brooke apparently told her new cat, "Daddy will visit soon. I'm deceased."